I'm beyond ready, my friend. Enough of these fucking cuck bitch guests, these cuck liberal guests we've had on here. Fucking man up, bringing it back to basics, baby. Old school pilot episode, two-man crew, son.
Fucking old school Dangerville right here. Just the two.
Run it back, son.
Jesus Christ, goddamn amateur hour up in this bitch.
It's turning into a full-blown fucking shit show all the way around. However, the third time appears to be charm. We're up and running.
Just the two of us.
Even better now, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Well, as we have said 15 times before, we got a two-man operation.
That's right.
Today, swinging it back to the pilot episode.
Was it only the pilot that we did two? I thought we did maybe
whence it all began.
two or
no,
three of
bro,
them. Just the pilot?
Just the one.
Indeed.
I think we tried to do a second one, but it was a real terrible shit show, as I would imagine this one will be. And then, that was that night. There was that real fucked up storm. And shit either got wonky or we shut it down because it could get wonky.
That. Yeah.
And it was going nowhere fast to begin with, in fairness.
I might have to take this microphone back over, though. I'm liking this shit over here.
It's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah,
It's got a nice look to it. A real sleek.
Sounds good. It's got all the spit of every guest that's been on so far on it.
The stench of 1,000 lackluster guests all combined into one mic.
Speaking of lackluster guests, we have none tonight. Our bro, whose name I won't mention, did not fucking show tonight. He said he had an emergency, so I don't know.
Maybe who shall remain nameless.
Possibly had an emergency. I don't know how accurate that is, or if he just fucking blew us off.
We got a real emergency. I finally realized this is a horrible way to spend a Friday night. We're going to do any number of other things other than talk with you shitheads.
And speaking of fucking storms and shit, man, that's why we were gone last week, is because fucking we had a different guest lined up and the fucking power went out here, so we had no power in the lounge for
the universe
days.
Really seems to be conspiring against us and telling us something at this point. It's just like, gentlemen, you had all of 9 listeners for the last episode. Why don't we go ahead and
let's
call
it a day on this. Fuck that, man.
No, this is where it's at, baby. Those other guests, those lackluster guests, have been doing nothing but gumming up the works to begin with.
Yeah, they're really in the way.
We'll get into some real one-to-one, some real deep shit, real heart-to-heart, really discover some new things about one another that we haven't previously uncovered over the last 48 years of discussions. So
maybe jerk each other off, No.
I wouldn't say no.
Been a while.
So what's new?
Indeed.
Actually got anything to talk about?
No.
That would seem to be
well, dude, fucking in that storm though, fucking there was a legit tornado out here. There's a picture of. Did I show you that picture?
No, but I saw that. I think Susan might have posted something that I saw. That's fucked up.
That was fucking wild. And then fucking a couple days later, we're hanging out, we're out back, and she's like, "Why does our tree have a black smear on it?"
Whoa.
And I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. And first I'm thinking it's some sort of mold or something. Right. And then I'm like, I don't remember seeing that. And we fucking get out and go look, and our fucking tree, the big tree out here, got nailed by lightning. Dude, nailed the whole backside of the fucking tree, and you can't see it from here. That's why we didn't notice it before.
Damn, dude.
It's fucking like a whole scar on it, and the entire fucking thing's all black. And then I was out there fucking mowing the lawn, and there was like black leaves in the lawn that were like burnt.
Damn, dude. One step away from Canada style, dude.
Indeed.
The fucking east side of Grand Rapids.
Wildfires.
Flames, bro.
Dude, it is wild around here. I don't know if you've fucking seen all the trees down and shit, but
it's intense, man. Yeah. It's Al Gore is really onto something back in the day with the
yeah, it was crazy. I'm fucking like, I'm hanging out. I'm in the studio. I'm working on some new music, and like, she's like, "Oh, it's getting pretty bad out there," and I'm like, whatever, it's fucking fine. And like brocking out and shit. And the sky's turning green and shit.
You got the headphones on, just fucking dead to the world as the apocalypse is coming down upon you outside.
Yup.
It's getting fucked up, man. It's been real super intense storms. Has that hurricane hit land yet? That fucking
in Florida.
Hurricane
something.
Hurricane Idris Elba or something. I don't know.
Hurricane
mumbo jumbo.
I don't know. I'm so not up on the news that's literally I haven't.
Ooh, maybe a little foreshadowing of things to come. We have to do something about that. Like, when I was back at the parents' crib, like in high school one time, we had a real vicious storm. And same type of shit, man. The tree outside got fucking hit by lightning and split, dude. It sounded like an A-bomb went off, brother. Like it was fucking intense, man. Just a big, massive tree just all fucking shot.
We like
shit.
know what like strike it was. Like we heard it because there was one in particular where we were like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, dude,
and it had to have been that one.
You ever see one of those things hit that close? Like a lightning bolt from like right away. It's fucking out of control.
Oh, I got another one. Fucking, you remember the house in Kalamazoo? It had like the upstairs bedrooms, like the roof like goes in. It's like a hip roof or whatever. Yeah. So like my bed was like under that. So like you couldn't really even like sit up or you'd like hit your head, you know? It's like an attic style.
Yeah.
And fucking, there was the trees in every plot like in the city. And fucking lightning catches. It was Bob's next door, and it fucking. But I didn't know, and I was there by myself, and I was in bed, and it was pitch black, and that fucking shit hit, and it was like, it literally, I thought it was a train like going through the house or something. I was like, Jesus. What the fuck? I was home. It was like, damn, it was like this crazy sound, like the air. It's like you're inside the thunder.
Yeah,
and so I'm like. And I'm freaking out or whatever, and I'm fucking there alone. And then the next day I go out, and that tree in the plot, which is like literally like 15 feet from that bedroom, was fucking toasted. It like took down like half the tree.
You were like a young Helen Hunt in Twister, just transfixed by the storm at that time.
I am, I've been described as a young Helen Hunt several times, so yeah, that's accurate.
See, that was the benefit to living in a 5x6 closet that I was charged commensurate rent as though we were a legitimate room. See, it was very structurally sound, what with the lack of ceiling and everything.
That's why that was more expensive, because that was the safest room in the house. If it has a window and a closet, it's a bedroom.
They were neither. They were literally neither.
They were both.
Oh, there was no window.
There was
pretty sure it was
windowless. There's definitely a window in that.
I remember I had some fucking wheel-in closet thing there, some coat.
No, there was like a tiny closet that was like it was basically like you could hang like a row of shirts in it. Like that was it.
Gotta up your standards for what constitutes a closet, my friend.
I don't make the rules, man.
I'll tell you what, I had that dope ass apartment we lived in that one time with a couple of boys, the whatever the fuck it was called, Jefferson Commons or the Point or whatever it was at the time. Yeah. Had a glorious walk-in closet. Oh boy, was that nice. Walk-in closet is nice. The bee's knees.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Well, remember at the old spot, I had that whole fucking room that was just a closet because we had an extra bedroom.
I feel like Burt Reynolds or something with the closet.
You really do.
Like, feel like kind of a big deal.
Walk in. I actually fucking missed that because that was the shit. Because like all your clothes and stuff, it just stayed over there.
Indeed, dude. Ample space to hang multiple Valueland t-shirts. Nothing but that V-Land. Pour one out. Shout out Valueland, baby.
It sucks like there's no thrift stores and shit anymore.
I know, like Goodwill doesn't get it done, man. No. It's still once in a great while,
It's like too nice, dude. They like only accept, like they only put out like certain shit. Like you used to have to like scrounge.
Dude, I had this really dominant Banana Republic sweater that I loved, and I washed that thing like a fucking knucklehead and shrunk it down to child size, which I probably still should have rocked that shit regardless. But shortly thereafter, I was like, let me hit up some Goodwill, see what's going on in there, and try and get some fucking hipster stuff. I found the exact same Banana Republic sweater, to your point. They really got it classed up in those Goodwills, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's real highfalutin.
We used to be so poor, we'd go to Valueland and switch the tags for the half off day. You remember it was whatever color tag would be half off, and you could just kind of like work the tag off that was a certain color and then slide it back on.
That is the definition / epitome of white trash behavior, my friend. That is well played.
I still got some fucking shit that I think came out of there. I got that Damn Yankees hat there.
Yeah, baby.
The greatest thing ever. I need to get that. That needs to be down here.
That's the find of all find. That doesn't need to be down here. That needs to be on that fucking chrome dome of yours 24/7, bro. Rocking that Damn Yankees. Why are you not sporting that thing, brother?
I don't know.
Rolling up into the Rio Grande Steakhouse sporting that DY hat proud, dude.
You know, be running into fucking what's the fuck's the guy's name? The fucking guitar. Yeah, running into the Nuge, because he's from Detroit and whatever. You run into him.
Not a word will be spoken.
And
he'll
just
be down
give
here
you
on
the nod.
giving the nod.
I'm gonna run into him in like Ruby Creek up by the cabin. He's out there hunting or something. You fucking roll in there to get some fucking beef jerky, and the Nuge is in there. He just gives you the look from fucking across the bar.
Dude. I've said it before. I will say it again. I break out that Damn Yankees album like once every 5 to 8 years at this point, and it's still just owns, bro. Yeah. Damn Yankees for the goddamn win.
And it's Tommy Shaw.
Right? Yeah.
He's I think the singer too.
Sticks?
He's from Sticks. Yeah.
Who else is in that? It's like
I don't know.
Tommy Shaw, the Nuge.
And others. Yeah. It was two guys that was like a rhythm section from some other fucking. Look that shit up real quick, dude. I'm fucking curious. Who is actually. It's like some rhythm section from one of those other bands.
These are the type of burning questions that the fans demand to know is who is the lineup from Damn Yankees?
Gotta have it.
29 years ago. Let's see what we got going on here. Feel free to talk amongst yourself over there.
Can you take me high enough?
All right, so we got Tommy Shaw of Sticks. That was one of the many dominant songs. You are correct.
Yep.
Jack Blades of Night Ranger,
yeah,
bro.
Dude,
Jack Blades. Throw it down, JB.
Night Ranger.
Talking Nuge.
Yep.
By the way, so they got everybody's like quote unquote master band here. It's Ted Nugent of the Amboy Dukes.
What? I don't know what that is.
Apparently the choicest of Ted Nugent bands prior to
that was my
Yankees
band when I was in middle school.
Ted Nugent of Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent of Priapism fame.
Michael Cartellone, the unknown drummer who would later join Leonard Skinner.
Nice. Okay.
There you go. Dude.
Some drummers like, I'm in Damn Yankees.
Gotta
with the
have
Nuge. Soak me in.
High Enough, Where You Going Now, which I don't remember was apparently top 40.
I've never heard any of the other songs besides Can You Take Me High, which is a choice song.
It is a choice song. It's literally a choice song. Like, I'm not being kitschy. It's fucking dominant.
No, those guys own, dude. I mean,
and when you listen to it, like every other album of that era, it is unapologetically just about banging 16-year-old chicks in every song. I'm just like, is this okay? Should I be listening to this?
The Nuge does not care.
I feel like I need to turn Nuge into the authorities of some sort, but yeah. You'd think they'd be smart enough to put 2 and 2 together, but
the Nuge is like, have you ever actually like listened to that guy talk?
Yes, dude. Nuge,
man,
he's a lot.
He's a lot, dude.
He's a lot to handle, bro.
And like when you get him talking about like guitars, I love it.
Yeah,
because he's like the same passion he has for, whatever deer hunting and racism. He also has for guitars. Like so when he's talking about his Gibsons and shit, I'm like, I love this guy, dude. Like it's a real passion. Same for hunting and shit too. But like, man, he's just like
he's very much, he is who he is. Obviously, he doesn't give a fuck about it, dude. He's the Nuge at this point. He's beyond reproach. He's gonna say what he's gonna say. But he makes makes a lot of good legitimate points. He's a super knowledgeable dude. He's very interesting to listen to, which is not to say that I agree with everything.
Yeah.
A lot of the hunting stuff is spot on though, and I'm like not an expert hunter or anything, but like, we grew up in fucking Michigan, obviously, so you kind of know what's what. And his whole thing is basically population control, and you've got to do it, which is a fact of life, like if the populations get out of control, they fucking fall to disease, and it's a bad shit show. Now, importing zebras to shoot in a small fence, maybe a little horse of a different color there.
Not if you're the Nuge. All that's fine, but yeah, he's definitely like dropped some serious racist shit that's pretty problematic. Right. But I think, dude, do you remember he was gonna play Summer Celebration in Muskegon, and he fucking said some shit in the paper, like in the Chronicle or something?
Oh,
and they canceled him like before canceling.
Nuge was the original.
He got canceled before. Yeah, dude.
He was getting canceled when it took skill to do so.
Serious shit.
There was no, none of this new age bullshit hacky cancellation. That was old school. Like, no, this is problematic on any number of levels cancellation.
They're just like, no, you're not gonna play this with me. He's like, oh.
Even Alex Jones back in the day was like, whoa, brother, it's a whole lot here, dude. You want to walk that one back a little bit?
Which kind of sucks because I kind of would have went to that Catch That Nuge show. Dude. Like, Nuge is like hell of a guitarist,
shreds,
man. That's what sucks about it. It's like you kind of can't like him because he's such a fucking whatever, but like,
and he's so much of that era too, when it was this old school fucking solos and lay it down and just get the fuck after it. Did you ever catch any really early Nuge, like 60s Nuge, before he was the Nuge, man?
No.
Do yourself a favor and check some of that shit out sometime, dude. Nuge has been rocking since well before everybody else.
Yeah, he's
laying it down.
I mean, I've heard shit. I don't know what eras, the different shit is or whatever.
You gotta step at Nuge now.
I know. We need to like get the fucking greatest hits up and fucking give it a listen.
I'm sorely disappointed. The level of goo-goo knowledge that was dropped last week. I got nothing on the Nuge.
I got my fair share of Nuge.
When it comes to
the
Johnny
early material,
Resnick and the boys, I'll tell you anything you ever wanted to know about it.
I know fucking, do you ever catch Tool covering the Nuge? Our cats are murdering
themselves. Dude, that sounded intense. That was some Scar Simba shit going down out there. No, I have not, dude. What Nuge song?
Do you know Stranglehold?
Brother. Come on. Give me a little credit here, my friend.
Tool does Stranglehold, dude. It's on, I think it's on the Salival box set.
Really?
It's choice.
Oh,
dude.
God. I never scored that box set. That is the one glaring omission of my Tool collection is Salival.
Holy shit.
Whoa. Shit's getting real out there.
Wow. Anyway.
Speaking of old school acts, dude, your boys stumbled ass backwards into a free fucking Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, Filter, and Ministry ticket.
What?
For Tuesday of next week.
What the fuck, dude?
Yes, sir.
That's huge.
So I will be catching some Alice Cooper in all of his fucking glory, and it's going to be chill.
Where's that at? What the fuck?
Why not, bro?
What the fuck, dude? How the fuck did you get hooked up with that, dude? That's a huge show. Zombie?
Jealous, people got free tickets. They come calling, my friend.
That's fucking bullshit.
My neighbor hits me up. Shout out, neighbor. I won't say your name. But he's like, hey, super random. My one of my best boys is the main sound guy for Alice Cooper. He caught me some tickets. Doing anything Tuesday, and I heard it taking off. So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Go catch some Alice Cooper. I think Zombie's headlining the show.
I would imagine, yeah. And then probably Alice Cooper and Zombie co-headlining kind of thing, and then. Who'd you say? Ministry too?
Ministry and
dude,
Filter.
What the
and
fuck,
Filter, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
Filter, less excited about. I like some Filter, but they're pretty terrible lately. They got a new album out.
Really?
And a guy I know in the industrial forums and shit was talking about it. And he was like, I didn't even know there was a new Filter out. And then he was like, gotta be honest with you, I try not to shit on stuff, but it's pretty terrible.
Oh, it sounds about right, dude.
He's like, it feels like he didn't even finish it. Like, I'm like, damn, man.
Probably not the thing you want to hear after putting out a new album. I thought everything they did after Short Bus basically sucked my dick.
Yeah.
Short Bus, I fucking loved, and still I haven't listened to it for a very long time. But that album fucking kicks.
And like
ass,
I feel like
really
that's the thing is he was like he's out of 9 Inch Nails. He's got these songs, and then like labels are picking up industrial acts and shit or whatever because it was kind of the thing right then.
Right.
And then. So they like what we were talking about with Joel and shit, it was like, and then it gets mixed, you know what I mean? It's like, exactly. There's a machine behind it.
Yeah.
And then like then he had that next record that actually had some bigger hits on it, that Photograph song.
Oh my
whatever.
God. That song was indescribably terrible.
And I was not really a fan of any of that, but then it was like, after that, it just fell off and it was like, he doesn't have the actual skills to actually make it himself, kind of thing or something. Which is kind of like, but dude can fucking sing. And did you ever hear that he fronted that band with the guys from Stone Temple Pilots?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
What was the name of that?
I
band?
think there was a couple of them, and I might be getting this mixed up, but I think it was Army of Anyone was the name of it. Because Stone Temple Pilots had a couple of bands with different frontmen.
Okay.
What with the heroin...
Tragic death. Yeah.
Being in prison for 5 years, and then the fucking heroin overdose and all that.
I don't know. I don't think you went to that show with us. We caught Stone Temple Pilots with Weiland. Somewhere in GR at some random outdoor festival.
I was definitely there.
Okay,
yeah. Well, there's only one Stone Temple Pilots. They always, to their credit, they always made it like a different band, which they probably would have been more successful if they just fired him and just kept Stone Temple Pilots the name. You know, like
what was the other? Because Weiland fronted some other bands here.
Yeah, Velvet Revolver, which was a huge band.
Was it GNR? The
band
it
was
GNR. Okay.
Slash, a couple of the guys, and Duff, I think. Yeah, and
it's kind of not my favorite. It was fine.
I think some of those guys played in Damn Yankees for a while too.
Sounds about right. They didn't. They should have. Alice Cooper had some musical called "Welcome to My Nightmare" that announced last year as well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, some sort of Broadway-esque show. I believe.
Literally on Broadway.
Yeah,
not a big musical guy. I would go under the right circumstances.
Yeah,
like if
Alice
I was
Cooper
get
being those circumstances
during one of them.
Indeed, you're either going with a supermodel and/or going to see Alice Cooper.
I can imagine.
There's the only ways those are acceptable.
An Alice Cooper run musical's got to be the shit.
Oh yeah.
Song.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what'll be better though is a Damn Yankees musical.
Indeed, dude.
Starring the Nude.
The soundtrack of Epstein's Island, Damn Yankees.
I hear Alice Cooper's fucking dominant live though, dude. Not gonna lie.
I'm super thrilled. It's kind of one of those like not that I'm like
jealous.
Not like an epic Alice Cooper fan, but it's fucking it's historic shit. You know, it's like one of the fucking top dogs on Mount Rushmore back in the day.
He played 20-man role like 2 years ago, and I knew a bunch of people that went, and they were all like, it was chill.
Yeah. I remember that was like right when COVID was breaking, if I remember, like during that first big initial wave. Acts coming back around. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it should be pretty fucking thrilling, man. I was telling my mom about it. She was like, God damn it. Which, ironically enough, so I've told this story, I think, once before, but I wanted to go to that. That was my first show that I ever ended up going to. Was Rob Zombie and Korn, which is awesome.
Which is just.
I remember I was concert. Like pushing so hard to go for that, and I was like 15, 16, somewhere thereabouts. And I was getting the whole, like, you're too young to go, getting shut down. And I went off on my parents. I was like, fuck this. Gotta catch Zombie. You're breaking my balls.
Yeah.
Little did I know that there was this whole master plan in the works where all my choice older cousins were like, yeah, we're going to bring them out there. So I ended up getting to go after I made an ass out of myself.
Because we were all there.
Yeah. But my mom was telling me when I was saying I was going to Alice Cooper, she was like, at that same age, when I was like 14, 15, I wanted to go to Alice Cooper with her older brother at the time, and her mom shut it down. She's like, no, you're going to see it. It's not going to happen. So I was like,
So I got two stories there. I've already told this a little bit, but I got to go see White Zombie was my first concert. And I was 11 years old.
Yeah,
that should not have been there.
That's a harsh indoctrination to the music.
It was, and White Zombie and Rob Zombie are not the same thing.
Correct.
But I did get to see the Ramones, and I know I've already told that story, but also my mom, she dated Alice Cooper.
Wow, I feel like you probably told me this back in the day.
And that's mostly kind of the joke. I think she hung out with Alice Cooper a couple of times before he was Alice Cooper, which was just a band. So I don't know how much of the history of that. Alice Cooper was a band, and then he kind of took over as the singer, the fucking persona of Alice Cooper.
Yeah, okay.
And then it became him as Alice Cooper. But originally, Alice Cooper was a band.
Right.
And so, but anyway, he's from Detroit as well.
Yeah.
And he used to come over and play the roller rink in Hastings.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And but this was pre the heavy metal bands or whatever. Like it was more like what I'm sure they were doing rock and covers and whatever, you know.
Indeed.
And this was way back in the fucking day. So it was like if you look up old pictures of Alice Cooper, like his school pictures, it's so fucking funny, you know. But I'd imagine that's about what it was.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure their friend groups hung out or they whatever, but we were always like, yeah, she dated Alice Cooper.
It's hilarious.
Which was also then like Alice Cooper is my father. Which would be dominant.
Indeed. AC, dude.
Kind of makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Right. That's starting to add up
Indeed.
there.
Indeed.
Yeah, it should be pretty fucking thrilling, man. One of the finest cameos in movie history is none other than one Alice Cooper in Wayne's World. Some of the funniest
so
shit
good.
ever.
The fact they picked him.
It's pronounced Milwaukee.
Yeah, dude. So good.
Alice Cooper, have you ever heard him just talk? Like, I think, does a podcast or a radio show or something back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was like just
I think
a historical
like a serious
radio show or whatever.
Or something.
Yeah, just about like, I guess he's a super knowledgeable
Fuck
history
yeah, he
buff,
is, dude. Yeah.
Which is choice.
Yeah, he's also a like professional level golfer.
Yes.
Dominates on the golf course.
Indeed.
Which is hilarious seeing him play golf too in his golf attire and shit.
Alice Cooper fucking rules. Yeah,
he really does.
Payne Stewart knickers. He got the plaid pants and a loud ass shirt.
Still with the corpse paint on and shit. Just putting and
laying
shit,
it down
dude.
at fucking Augusta to showing up. Alice, gentlemen,
Mr. Cooper.
That's shows.
His name's something fucking hilarious too. His real name. It's like literally like Periwinkle or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck it is.
I've seen it back in the day. It's something thoroughly inappropriate.
See if you can look that shit up.
It's all about the rock persona. That's where it's
indeed,
at. You just come with a super strong rock name.
Those like first Alice Cooper records, the band Alice Cooper, are like considered by a lot of people to be like masterpieces. Like they're like really well regarded.
So was that like 60?
72,
70s?
71,
Okay.
72, 73. I mean, it was like, there's that record, $1 Million Babies was a big one. There's a couple of records and they were like so in debt. It's a lot. It's a rock and roll saga. But like those guys were like bigger than Zeppelin at the time and shit. Like they were huge.
Jesus Christ.
Huge. Yeah.
I don't even remember that one bit.
Yep.
Quick digression, dude. $1 Million Baby, the movie. Did you ever see $1 Million Baby?
Is that the Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood
yeah.
and not Helen. What the fuck? Hillary Swank.
Helen Hunt.
It should have been. But what a fucking horribly depressing but choice
Yeah,
movie
I did see. I saw that in the theater, I think, and it was terribly depressing.
It was amazing, but that was one of those things where I saw that was just a
Morgan
goddamn
Freeman,
gut punch. Was Freeman?
Yeah, he's
too?
like the second gym owner. He's like his partner in the gym or something.
Okay.
Andy Dufresne, he worked at the gym.
Vincent Damon Fournier.
Yeah, that's right. Vince. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Vinnie Cooper, baby.
Indeed,
Shout out
indeed.
Vinnie Cooper.
And Alice Cooper was the first witch burned at the Salem witch trials, I think, is where that name comes from. Or that might not be it, or it's some shit like the story is it's some fucking, or it's both. It's some witch they were talking to on a Ouija board.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wild, dude.
Yeah.
You ever fuck with any Ouija board shit back in the day?
A little bit. So I had one. I actually kind of wish I still had it because it would have been fucking dope in the lounge here. I actually sold it when I was selling off a bunch of shit a couple years ago. I bought a Ouija board from like the 1930s or something. Like it was like a first run, and the
Some
box
old school
was
legit
like
shit.
yeah,
dude.
and the box was like super like. I mean, the box was the coolest part, like the artwork on the box and shit. It's like way different than it is now. And I had it, and I used it. I bought it actually for a music video.
Okay.
And but then I had it forever, and it was in the old lounge where we were doing the potty. It was in that closet where the vocal booth was.
Yeah.
There were shelves that were like way up high, and it was up there, and I like sold it. But I kind of wish, because like I sold it for like $130. It was like
really?
It was like a legit like.
Should have hung on to that.
I know.
Dude.
I'm kind of like fuck. I kind of wish I had it because like even just for that box, like hanging that box up would have been fucking sweet in here. But
indeed.
Yeah, but I was like going on a rampage. That's when I sold all my Stephen King books. I sold all. Yeah, which I had like a whole shelf. Like one of these shelves behind you was all Stephen King.
Gotta have it, brother.
Yeah, well, I got like $600 for that collection of Stephen King.
If you don't
books.
have enough shelves to house the Stephen King collection, build more shelves.
Well, yeah, at the time, that was a small room. I was like, I have to get rid of like one bookcase because I got too many. I'm like, that's my goal. I'm like trying to like unhoard a little bit.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, I'm going to downsize one bookcase. And then so I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, one of the only things that has any value is these Stephen King. So I could actually sell these Stephen Kings and get some money. And there was a couple of first editions and shit and a pretty legit collection.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I scored like $600.
Damn,
for that whole
nice little haul.
Yeah, like I said, there was probably like 3 like legit first editions and some other ones that were like old, like, you know, like sought after covers and shit. And like, it's the same thing. These guys, he'll sell them for $40 each on eBay, you know, or whatever. Right. He's like one of these secondary dealers or whatever. So
spent that $600 on Cracker Jacks and Moon Pies.
Spent that shit on PCP.
Speaking of PCP, so I watched, do you know the Edgewood Experiments?
No.
Okay. So HBO has this documentary. It's called Dr. Delirium and the Edgewood Experiments.
Okay. And your old elementary school, Edgewood Elementary.
Indeed. Shout out Edgewood Elementary. But it was this thing from like 55 to 75 when the military started testing like different psychedelics to use as like weapons to incapacitate the enemy, essentially. So there was this place called Edgewood. They, I think, started out as like a chemical warfare research facility, then kind of pivoted to this. So this documentary had all this footage from the dude who ran this program. It was this guy named Dr. Ketchum. It was this previously unreleased footage from 2019. I think he died shortly thereafter, but it was like a pretty big thing back in the day. Like they had a bunch of our doctors in there, but then they had a bunch of Nazi scientists and shit there too.
Right. Yep.
So they started out. And the first thing that they did was like, because this is way, way back in the day, you know, fucking 55, obviously. So everything was pretty nebulous in terms of the drug world. So they started out with marijuana. It was like the first thing that they tested on people, right? So they're giving these dudes all these weed, you know, marijuana and getting them high. And they're just like, how do you feel? You know, wondering if that was going to incapacitate them enough to not be able to participate in a war. And these guys, they were showing the footage of it. They're literally just like, I feel amazing. It's a pretty goddamn choice right now. Everything's pretty awesome.
Got any damn Yankees?
Jamming out this Buddy Holly rules. But then from there, they moved on to PCP. So they were testing that. And they were, again, interviewing the guy. And he's like, how do you feel? And he goes, oh, I feel like I'd run 100 miles right now. And this guy's just all amped up and on PCP and shit. So
damn.
like, damn, that's probably not the one. So then from there, they go to LSD, which they tested in 55 to 67. And like one of the first guys that they gave it to, because they like didn't kind of know how to use all these machines and shit.
Yeah.
And they weren't, you know, doing the tabs or anything like that. So they were vaporizing it essentially, just having these dudes breathe it in. But this guy, they were interviewing him. They're like, I just remember him hearing, shut the machine off, shut the machine off. And they like didn't know how much the dose was.
Yeah.
They kept it on way too long.
Yeah.
So they gave this guy like an indeterminate amount of LSD. Shit. And he's just tripping fucking balls and shit, you know. So, you know, but they kind of like figured out that, okay, if you concentrate hard enough, you know, you can like kind of focus in. So it wasn't quite doing the job. So then they end up switching this shit to something called BZ, which is like LSD times 1,000. It like lasts for 2 to 3 days.
Holy shit.
And causes like one of the things they went into, which I don't remember all the specifics of, was like the actual definition of a hallucination. You know, not like, oh, the walls are a little wavy or swimmy. Like you are seeing things that aren't there.
Yeah, that don't exist.
Yeah, and they're filming this shit, and there are guys just like trying to perform operations with their hands and like turning buttons that aren't there and shit, dude.
Damn.
Extra fucked up. So then like this whole thing's going south. They write this thing called the Ferris Doctrine as they're doing this, which is basically like this whole legal document that absolves the military of any kind of blame.
Yeah.
So it's just a real hands-off, like a Purdue Pharmacy, like, or not Purdue Pharmacy, but the whole COVID vaccine. We're just like, we can't fucking be sued for this. We don't know what's going on. So they're fucking with all these guys. They're like, these dudes after the fact are having all sorts of issues, right? Like these guys years later are having flashbacks. They're paranoid about being chased and shit, dude. They show these guys, and these dudes are out of fucking commission, man. They're simulating like chemical drills and stuff. So they're like, get your mask on, get your mask on. They're sounding these alarms and stuff. And dudes just like are looking around without any concept of what's going on. You know? So these dudes are totally fucked up. So it's years later when they do this, they have to sign all these NDAs as one would suspect, right? Like you can't tell anybody about this, but they were super strict, like 50 years in Leavenworth if you tell anybody about this. So they were prevented from even like telling their doctors and shit about this. So they've got nobody to talk to about it. These guys are fucking going through all this PTSD and fucking flipping out and having super issues with this. Like their wives are leaving them and shit.
Yeah.
They're in bad shape. Like this one dude can't like hear or see out of his eyes. You know, they've got all this fucking shit going on. Yeah, I don't know. It was out of control.
Damn. Yeah.
And basically, that Ketchum dude that was running it.
I've heard of him.
He got off on some kind of gray area because it was a matter of like, well, are you a military guy or are you a because he was technically a psychiatrist.
Right.
And he's like, well, you know, I'm bound by doctor-patient confidentiality. And fell under that whole fucking clause. So he's like, I can't disclose that. Sorry. And got off the hook that way because they consider him like a psychiatrist instead of like a military person. So they end up backdooring it and doing this whole civil suit. And in doing so, they uncover all these other CIA documents because like once the Freedom of Information Act thing gets going, they fucking do that and they start to see all these redacted documents and stuff. Find out that a lot of the same dudes that were doing this were working with the CIA for that whole, what was the Operation Midnight Climax?
Yeah.
Where they were like dosing Johns up with LSD, prostitutes, and then just, which by the way, like if you're going to have somebody from the CIA experiment on you, like that's kind of not the worst thing in the world. You just get to trip balls, get your dick sucked in the process, but... Yeah, they end up finding all sorts of shit and basically like go through backdoor civil lawsuit channels and kind of fucking. But yeah, it was pretty wild, dude.
That's on HBO?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, it's like that Wormwood shit too. That's pretty similar to that. Did you watch that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing where they're doing those.
Errol Morris, I want to say, is the guy's name, but
that sounds about right.
It's like super famous documentarian journalist type.
Right. Yeah. That was a fucking great documentary. So yeah, but it's the same kind of
wild,
thing.
Man.
And that one was a lot about like he fucking jumps out a window or did he get pushed out a window or whatever. Like,
yeah, that was the whole thing.
But yeah, it was the same deal. They were in that cabin and they were all fucking experimenting with fucking LSD and they were all tripping balls and shit.
Which, Jesus Christ, man, like that is about as inhumane of something as you can do. Like dose somebody up with psychedelics and then intentionally try to fucking freak them out and stuff. Like, can you imagine that, dude? Like you're in that state and then people are intentionally trying to fuck with you, man.
And not knowing like it was also new. Like it wasn't
and not even knowing that you're on it. So there's not even that frame of reference like, oh, okay, I'm on a drug and you try and talk yourself out of it. Like you don't know what's going on. All of a sudden you just fucking think you're going insane or whatever.
They did that shit to the fucking Unabomber, dude.
Yeah,
that's what fucking happened to him.
Was it Stanford? I want to say
Harvard.
Harvard,
I feel like,
something like one of those.
Yeah,
one of those highfalutin Ivy League schools.
Same shit though, you know. It's like all the same. All these fucking covert fucking military government experiments, dude.
Shit's fucked up.
I know. Need fucking Jordan here. He was supposed to come on when it got canceled a couple weeks ago. There with the power
I was
outage.
pumped because I watched like not because of that, but I was like, oh, choice, and I'll talk to Jordan about this shit for sure. So
shout out to Jordan.
Blew my load there for no apparent reason. Back pocketed that one for a future.
I mean, you've been known to blow your load when you.
That'll happen.
Yes.
Back with a scintillating second segment here.
What the fuck else been going on, man?
Ah, shit, dude. Just shit in the bed and golf, getting ready to dominate some fantasy football.
Football's coming up.
Which when it comes
talking
to
about
sports, fantasy is really the finest version of me doing it, you know? Fake football with my fake team, so that should be pretty glorious.
Yeah, everybody's pretty pumped about the foosball coming back up.
We'll see. It should be all right.
Yeah. How the Lions looking this year. So.
haven't watched or seen too much about them. I would imagine they're gonna stink, dude. If history is any indication,
no, I'm always like, you're okay.
Sources tell me they're gonna be bad again.
Yeah, indeed. I keep saying I guess you just fucking unretire Barry Sanders at 65 or whatever. Bring him
Barry
back.
Sanders is the man who's doing all these shameless fucking betting commercials for like BetMGM and shit. Like, to get that bank, 'cause he got divorced a few years back, I'm pretty sure. So
oh, indeed.
needed that cash.
Indeed. That shit's fucking big money. They got a lot of fucking people doing that shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, you ever fuck with that?
So I've never done any of the sports betting apps. I may or may not have had a bookie back in college that I was going through for a brief betting run.
Which is way funnier, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was hilarious.
Gotta get a
and,
bookie.
dude, having action on the game, some sweet action on the game, my
Makes it
friend,
way more exciting,
is the
huh?
most exciting shit in the world.
Yeah.
But I can, like, absolutely see how people go off the rails of that, dude. And this was in my heyday where all I did was watch fucking sports and football specifically. I mean, if there was fucking East versus Southwesternmost St. Mary Junior College versus fucking, Wilmington, whatever the fuck, I was watching that game, and I knew everything there was to know. But you don't know as much as Vegas.
Right.
And you're going to get fucked in the ass harder than Adam Lambert for that shit, dude. Like, it was real bad. I won the first bet I ever placed for the first 2 bets I ever placed.
So you
Sounds
think
like
you're gold?
Shit. I got this on lockdown, son. And I'm placing bets and I'm losing. I'm like, all right, bad beat. But this next one, I got this one. This one's in the bag. This is a can't miss bet here. This
That's how it goes.
This one can't fail. And then I'm doubling down, and me and another friend who shall remain nameless, we're in this together. We're a partner team, right? And we're going to town on this stuff, and we are losing repeatedly. And our bookie, you think bookie, and it's like the New Jersey, like, oh, break your fucking legs type of guy, We had the kindest, gentlest hearted bookie in the world, to the point where he was sending us text messages as we were sending in bets to him. He was like, guys, I'm looking at the ledger here. You seem to be pretty far down. Are you really certain you want to do this one? Are you really sure? Like, maybe it's time to call it a day, which is a great sign, right? When your bookie's telling you that you've had enough, it's like your heroin dealer. It's like, bro, you're all set here. We've done what we need to do. So we're going, and we're fucking way down, dude. And there's one game left in the season, and it's Lions versus Green Bay, which for that division is always the last game of the year. So it's always
I didn't know that. I know it's a big game. I didn't know it was always the last game of the year.
Most divisions do that. It's kind of like the big rivalry game, and the division is the last one of the year. That makes sense, yeah. And it was, I don't know if it was Favre's last run. No, I guess it must have been the Aaron Rodgers era at that point. But anyway, Lions universally lose to the Packers, right? Like 100% of the time, and it's in Lambeau. In fucking November, December, I guess December. And the record there was something absurd. It was like 59-0. The last bit, like, they hadn't won there in a millennia, dude. So, of course, we bet Packers, right? Like, this is the move, you do it. And I think it was the worst of both worlds, because the Lions lost the game, but covered the spread, so they didn't lose by enough for us to win the bet.
Right.
And we are way down at this point. And we're like, bro, this is the surest fire bet of all. So we doubled down too, and it was a double or nothing, winner take all scenario, trying to dig out of that hole. So basically, we ended up losing a Kia worth of money on that game, and it was real unfortunate during the bets there, dude.
So what does that mean? I mean, like, did you have to like pay that money, or like you just keep betting, or?
I mean, in theory, we could have kept betting, but like, thankfully, we were smart enough at that point to
be like,
shut
all
it
right,
down.
we're done,
It's like, so it wasn't like real degenerate shit. I mean, it was pretty degenerate shit. It was the better part of like a money. $1,000 or so, which in college is, an absurd amount of money. But dude, that was like the capper bet. I forgot about this part. So we spent this day. Do you remember Burdick's?
Yeah,
down by Radisson there.
Yeah.
Okay,
the bomb.
Burdick, the bomb on Burdick, baby. So they had this setup there that was like one very big TV, with several other big TVs
surrounding
it.
Yeah.
And on game day on Sunday,
fucking Master Shredder style.
Oh
shit,
yeah, dude. They had every game on there. It was some T1 shit. And we're in there just watching every game. And we had many, many bets that day. That was what happened.
Right.
And then we decided to double down in the last game. But they did that shit all day. So we got there real early. We did 3 meals in this place, bro. We did breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. And just getting schnockered the whole time. So just pounding beers, drinking our sorrows down the drain. So it was an amazingly fun day. It was the most fun $800 day I've ever had in my life. It was a goddamn blast.
Indeed.
In conclusion, the Lions are probably not going to be very good this year. To answer your question.
If you have a gambling problem, come on over.
If you have a gambling problem, get better at gambling. Call this number.
Indeed. Don't ask us for advice. Did you ever fucking bet on like horse racing? You ever play the ponies?
I went to, was it Great Lakes Downs?
Yeah, right by, yeah.
We went there one time. We just ended up playing. They had a big Texas Hold'em tournament, so we went there and played poker. Didn't actually bet on the ponies. I don't know a goddamn thing about that. Lifestyle-wise, that seems exactly where I want to be and where I should be, right? It's just degenerate junks fucking throwing down money they don't have. But I don't know the first goddamn thing about it. And to get into horse racing and try and learn all that, so I was like,
I don't think there's much to learn, dude. You just pick fucking, you know. Like,
I don't know, man. There are guys that, you know.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's a great mudder. Our mudder was a mudder. You know? Dropping that deep fucking horse knowledge, dude.
I used to go, like, I was taken as a kid several times over there because it was like, it's a stone's throw from my house.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, like, fucking. And it's funny, man. I was just looking at it. It's still there, you know, but like they tore down the buildings and shit. But it's like, and it's just this huge vacant lot over there, you know.
They were talking about turning that into a casino.
They've tried
like 15 fucking years
for
back,
the last
dude,
25 years. They've been
yeah.
trying to do that or whatever.
I think the county's fighting it super hard for some reason.
A lot of people don't want it. A lot of people just don't want it.
Though. I don't know if it's true. There's this whole conception about like, you know,
I know people that don't
crime
want
and
it.
Stuff. What's the rationale behind it?
I think it's more, a lot of it's just straight up like traffic and shit. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of like maybe a crowd or a scene that people don't want or something like that. You know, which could be what you're saying, like crime is what they kind of mean or something. I don't know. A lot of people are like, well, it'd make a lot of jobs, you know, fucking like, you know.
I guess it's like anything else, you know, like it's in a way a drug, right? And if people are fucking losing money and whatever, desperate times call for desperate measures and then start doing shit.
For sure. It is a vice. You know what I mean? Like gambling is like one of the vices.
But also it'd be pretty choice to have a casino back.
Yeah. I don't, you know, it just depends. Like if it's lame, you know, like I don't know. Like if it's just kind of some small gambling den, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was still a fucking racetrack. Why don't we just bring back the racetrack?
Yeah.
That's gambling, and it's a racetrack.
Was it choice? Like you went there to watch the
it was live races and
was
shit.
it awesome?
Yeah.
Like,
it was pretty cool, but I mean, I was pretty young.
Right.
You know, like it was like my grandpa taking me over there, and he'd go like, and he'd let me bet. It was like $1 to bet, you know, like the whatever, just the lowest level like bullshit bet, you know, or whatever. So like he just like let me pick, and then he'd do whatever 3 or 4 or whatever he was doing.
That shit's kind of weird though, because it's one of those things where like the horses are bred to do that. They clearly want to do it. They clearly love to run, right? Like those fucking race horses want to race and run fast. But it's also wildly dangerous for them, dude. And they're always breaking legs and shit. And when that happens, for the most part, they just
kill
fucking done for, dude. Put them down. So it's a fucked. I know, like at Kentucky Derby this year, they had put like 3 or 4 horses down, not during that race, but you know they've got the practice runs and shit.
Everything.
That was a big story. They're just fucking offing those things left
they
and right.
Should
off to the glue factory.
First of all, they should be eating them, but not only should they be eating them, they should be selling them at the Derby. Like you buy a burger, you know what I mean, dude? You know, it's fucking, you know, Santa's little helper.
This is old Saint Nick over here. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yup. That's what they should do.
Horse meat's supposed to be delicious, by the way. True story.
Would you try it?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
I'd eat up a well-done horse steak, dude, if it was, you know.
I mean, if
they should eat them when they fucking shoot them at the thing, dude. Like, for real.
I mean, it sounds crass, but what the fuck else are you going to do with that? Otherwise, it's kind of just a waste.
Yes. Indeed.
Pretty dominant horse meat, bro. I get down on that.
Indeed.
I mean, I've had Taco Bell before,
Indeed.
so, you know.
Well, you probably had, yeah.
Horse meat through the grapevine.
Indeed. I bet you it's probably pretty stringy, those fucking horses that are running like that, dude.
Yeah. Probably pretty good lean cut, though, bro. Get those abs and top form.
Need some marbling, dude. I need some marbling, man.
The fucked up one for me, which again, it's just a cultural thing, but dog. I don't think I could ever eat dog, but like that's pretty common.
I mean, yeah. Well, you know, we love our dogs. You know, and dogs were literally made by people to be companions for people. So it's you know, that one's fucked up. No, not into that. They do eat fucking camel. I would get down on some camel.
Camel's supposed to be good as fuck too, man.
Yeah. I would get down on some camel.
Get down on some of that sweet, sweet hump, dude. Some of that camel water, dude.
It's like, no, I want the hump.
You're not a big gambler overall, right? Like, you don't fuck with the casino too much?
Nah, not really. It's never been my thing. For one thing, I'm not real confident in actually playing cards because I never bothered to learn that much. Like, I know how to, like, you know, I know the basic rules or whatever. Like, I'm not retarded, but like, it's just not my thing. And then also, I'm not a big gambling fan, so the two of those things combined, you know, just like, and it's not like I'm like super fucking against it or nothing. It's just like, I am just going to lose my money because I don't know what I'm doing. That's all it is. It's not like I'm against gambling. It's just like, I'm just going to give them a bunch of money because I'm an idiot, you know?
I got that degenerate gene though, man. I love the thrill of it and stuff. And I, like, in my defense, I don't play a bunch of games of chance. Like, I'm not going to sit down at the slot machine and blow a grand. Like, I don't want that shit. I do games that I have, like, marginal control over, right? Like,
and that's the only way to do
it. Or roulette, but, like, blackjack, is the house going to win more often than not? Yeah. But if you know what you're doing, you can hold your own and kind of do your thing.
Yeah.
Poker is a fun one to play because that's not like a house game. You're playing against other people.
Yeah.
You know, you throw the house like $5 an hour or whatever, and I go there and dominate and fear.
The people that seem to make actual money doing shit, they're all playing poker or blackjack, but, you know, mostly poker because, that, like you're saying, you can actually control some of that. There is some skill involved in that.
I had a nice little run on that, man, when they had all those like poker stars and shit back in the day with the online stuff. Dude, I was doing
it got so popular
playing
that's another thing, dude, that I kind of didn't want to play poker because it was so fucking popular that I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do this. It just, Texas Hold'em just came out of nowhere and just exploded, dude, you know?
Well, it was God, I want to say like 2003, 2004, somewhere thereabouts. There was this dude named Chris Moneymaker. And Chris before that, it was all like old school Las Vegas, like straight up gamblers with like cool gambling names that are just smoking darts, you know, just fucking firing up heater after heater, sitting there with you know, it's Doyle Brunson and all these legends of the game. And they won it every year. And then this dude named Chris Moneymaker, who is just a random accountant who played poker on the side, wins this. And that was like, it was kind of always televised, like somewhat behind the scenes, like 3 a.m. But I think that year, for whatever reason, they decided to make like a big primetime thing. So it was on ESPN. This cat who is not a professional wins. And it's like, I don't even know what it is. It's an absurd amount of money now. Back then, I want to say it was maybe like $6 million or somewhere. And that could be way the fuck off.
I thought it was like $2-3 million or something.
But, you know, it was just like, holy shit. So everybody saw this shit and it just fucking, like you said, caught fire, dude. And then everybody and their brother started playing that shit.
It was all over fucking like reality TV and just like it fucking like every channel is just, you know, poker shit's just fucking everywhere. And everybody's playing poker. And I was just kind of like,
Oh, it's great fun, dude. It's great fun.
I had this thing, and I don't know if it's a thing or not, but it's like when something's too popular sometimes or too trendy or something, I just like don't want to do it just for that sake.
I tend to be the same way too, but that just kind of fits all my fucking individual
I was like
vices,
playing cards when I like get good at a game, you know, like fucking we used to play spades all the time, and then the Euchre later, you know, like
that was a good run.
Play the shit out of Euchre, you know. I started playing again on my phone not that long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And it took me a little bit to like, oh yeah, it's like crazy how many hours we spent playing, and I was kind of like, it's been like close to 20 years or something. Like I kind of don't even remember exactly
I know, I
how
was
to play.
just thinking that when you brought it up. I was like, yeah, I remember, but
You'd fall right back into
wise,
it. Yeah. Well, also too is a lot of euchre was who you're playing with as your partner, and you don't. And that's the thing. Like what you're talking about with poker and stuff, it's like the people playing, and so like when you're playing it on your phone, you don't really have that unless you like have somebody you're playing with all the time or whatever. But like most of the time, it's just a fucking whatever, a computer and shit, you know, or some random other players or something. So.
I'm sure you do, but the amount of hours we spent fucking playing euchre in Shane's basement, dude. There was a time there when we were some of the finest euchre players in the world, my friend.
I got really good.
Put my euchre skills up against anybody back in the day.
Well, did you ever play spades?
Yeah, well, I played spades like with you back in the day, like in middle school, early high school days.
Because we were always playing it in drumline and shit.
Yeah,
it is then like so. I knew spades before euchre,
right?
And like I was dominant at spades, and I kind of don't even remember how to play that. But like I always thought that was a better game.
Kind of was in a lot of ways,
you know? Yeah. It's like similar, but like the weirdness of euchre, like wasn't there. It was more like this is a little more logical.
I don't remember how to play it at all, but I remember it was great fun, and it probably was a better game. In fairness,
it was like euchre, but like better. No, but like euchre is amazing in its own way too. You know, like I fucking love me some euchre, and it's very Michigan. I didn't know that for a long time either. So it's like, oh, like
Michigan knows what's up, bro.
Indeed.
I feel like when you're in those cold weather states, like that indoor gamey type shit, like that's where it's at, right? Because what the fuck else are you gonna do in the dead of winter, February, when it's negative fucking 15 degrees outside? Like you're inside playing euchre.
We should learn to play like fucking like what's one of the classic like backgammon or something, or like some weird shit like that.
I tried for a minute to figure out backgammon.
We should just get dominant. Just start like showing up to like VFWs and shit.
It'd be incredible. Just laying waste, bro.
All these like veterans and old folks homes and shit. We're just like flipping over tables and shit,
causing a ruckus in there. I'm the number 4 backgammon player in the world. Come up there with a members only jacket with some kitschy name on the back and shit. He'd rolling up in there with sunglasses. That'd be great, dude.
It would be huge. Pinochle or some shit. You know, like
I was fucking with my aunt taught me how to play cribbage back
there
in the
you
day,
go.
which was amazingly fun. I don't remember a fucking thing about it. It had something to do with.
Let's get good at cribbage. Start showing up to knitting circles and shit, and just start taking all these old ladies,
little lady.
just betting and shit. You know, like I'll bet you your candy dish. You know, like just some random shit.
Just taking them for.
I don't have any money. You know,
this is my rent money for the month. Cough it up, Martha. Cough it up,
sucks.
Beatrice. It's unfortunate. Don't write checks your ass can't cash, bitch. Just laying it down, sending toughs over there to collect the money on our behalf.
Heavies fucking hanging out.
Gotta get the heavies over there. I've always said that's where it's at, is getting choice at some obscure sport.
Yeah. I
had a buddy back in the day who was an amazing bowler, like multiple 300 games. We're always talking about, because K-Wing Stadium has amateur curling leagues.
Yeah.
That you can
I
just
didn't
go
know
and
that.
Fuck yeah,
we
man.
always talked about doing curling. I didn't know there was a place you could actually do it.
Choice. I would imagine within 4 months we could be as good at curling as
you
anybody
can
else.
Be.
Actually,
it's like the Olympics with curling. They're like, are these really the best in the world? It's like, yes, but they're just the only people that play this.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lack of competition as much as anything, with glorious consequences.
Drinking all kinds of Molson.
That'd be choice. Just scoring myself all sorts of curling groupies throughout the nation. Dude. Going up to Canada and just slaying up there.
For sure, dude.
It's like Alice Cooper up there if you're a dominant.
We got to get good at we should. That's what I'm saying, dude. Fucking get good at that shit. Yeah, fucking Sean Julian fucking from Holloway and whatever it was. He was a killer bowler.
Yeah,
he rolled multiple 300s. Yeah, he's got rings and all that shit.
That's out of control.
Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, I think he fucked up his fingers, which he couldn't really. What's kind of fucked up his guitar too, but yeah, he couldn't bowl anymore after that. I think or something. But yeah, he was pretty good. It's pretty fucking good.
It's a goddamn blast. I used to do a bowling league, and I was just god awful, man. Like a 140
I was
average.
always pretty good at bowling. Like I could have got good at bowling. I should have got good at bowling. I really kind of wasted my life.
Bowling seems right up your alley, pun marginally intended. That seems like something.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of any sport you can do with a beer chilling on the table behind it. Give me some softball.
I got extremely good at Wii bowling. Let me put it that way. Extremely good. Just knowing how to game the Wii as well, you know, just like doing shit fucking with Wii golf and shit too. We're like, I'm just like, I know how to just flick your wrist just in the right way to run the gyroscope thing in there. You know? So I'm just going 300 yards.
I remember playing that shit and being so annoyed because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be choice. I'm gonna do an actual golf swing. And he's just like, no, it's all about that crucial flick of the wrist, man.
Man, that shit was fun. I should get a Wii. I gave my Wii away, which was maybe a fucking terrible mistake.
It ranks right up there with the Stephen King and Wheezy decisions on your part, to be sure. Really I sold my Wii for a very nominal fee on fucking eBay.
We should get one. You could probably get one for $35.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
I want to get one so bad.
Let's get one for here. Is what I'm saying. We can play, and my favorite games on those, I mean, was legit just like Wii golf and Wii bowling and all that stupid shit. Wii tennis, all that, dude. Yeah, it was super fun.
Little Wii kart was underrated. Kart game, dude, doing that little backflip to get the additional speed.
Mario Kart?
Yeah. You get that controller that you just plug into the fucking wheel. That was great fun. Gotta be done. I would throw down on a house Wii.
Indeed.
By that I mean I would buy it and rent it out to you for a marginal fee.
Gotta have it.
A very reasonable rate.
Put a whole fucking thing up right here, dude.
Hell yeah. That'd be a fucking blast, man.
Dude, we were talking about fucking like, you and I had this whole idea about fucking, it was like a mini golf course that was like, do you remember this?
Keep going, not yet.
It was like a fucking mini golf course, but it was all like, I don't know, fucking neon and shit. It was like a putt.
Like an outdoor glow-in-the-dark type one? Yeah.
Like you and I like went on this whole tangent about it. We're like ready to throw it down and make this fucking...
The only thing we lacked was ambition, or money, funds. Knowledge, direction, drive.
Have it, though. We had a whole thing though. It was like fucking like we talked about it for like hours.
Yeah. Like, I think it was like an adult mini golf glow course, serving beer and shit. Dude, having a bar. Fuck yeah, dude. That's still $1 million idea.
I know.
Which I'm sure has been done ad nauseum at this point.
We would throw it down.
Do you ever think of the amount of shit that you've said, like just like, oh, this would be a choice thing, and then 2 months later it becomes an actual thing, and it's like, God damn it.
That somebody else like did first?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Well, no, not even first, but just like talking out of your ass.
Yeah.
As evidenced by the glow-in-the-dark mini golf thing that we never did, but then like 3 months later, it's like, hey, glow-in-the-dark mini golf. Yeah. These guys are millionaires. Anybody who missed out on this idea is a real douchebag. A real piece of shit here if you didn't think of this before.
Well, we were talking about doing it out back here.
Yeah.
Fucking like, we were talking about even like setting up a full laser tag fucking back there in the fucking the Vietnam back there. Dude, just going back there with the fucking laser tag shit, dude.
Oh, it'd be glorious. Glow-in-the-dark mini golf would be great fun. Yeah. I think that's a nice little avenue, like cool adult or like kid shit for adults, you know, just throw it down and get back to basics, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't think you've ever played paintball. I've done it like twice in my life, dude.
I haven't ever
played it. We need to go
it.
play some paintball.
Well, that was what we were talking about too. It started off being a discussion about fucking setting up a paintball court, which turned into it. This was again fucking me and Lenz got all fucking baked out here. And we're fucking. It was another thing about the grotto. It was like a continuation of that, and it was fucking just he and I just going off about fucking
get the paintball out there.
But just doing like we were talking about doing like a whole fucking like neon and like it is some like in the middle of the woods. Like fucking paintball course out there, but it was laser tag too. We were like, we want to set up an adult in the woods laser tag game. Yeah, you know, with like fucking like neon painted shit and different whatever.
Oh yeah, man,
would have been huge.
We used to work at Craig's Cruisers back in the day, which is a blastive job. They had a pretty dominant laser tag course set up back there, dude. In off hours, we could go in there and just light up 6-year-olds, man. Just go back there and lay waste, dude.
That shit was fun, man.
Oh, it's
laser tag, and it's like
fun.
they've updated all that shit. It's fucking better than ever.
Oh
dude.
yeah. I think it taps into like some natural human instinct shit. Like it's you know fucking some war type stuff with lower consequences. So I think it's inherently fun. It's inherently like an adrenaline inducing thing. It's a goddamn blast, man.
Did you ever go to like Halloween shit at like the water park?
I did the Halloween weekend. We did the Halloween weekends at Cedar Point.
Yeah, we did that.
I don't know.
There was one here back in the day, but the same thing. Or at Michigan's Adventure or whatever. You know, the fucking...
No, the only one... Like, I've done all the haunts and the corn rides and that shit, which is always fun. And, like, the Cedar Point Halloween weekends is one of the most fun things I've ever fucking done in my life.
But I'm thinking like that, but it's laser tag in the woods, in the middle of the woods. And you got to, like, go out to it, and there's, like, stuff flying around in the trees.
Hell yeah, that'd be choice, dude. We did one of those back in the day. Went like a wrestling middle school. That was a big outing that we did, and then we decided to go back after the fact. And it was me and Swanson, and we show up there, and they're all these diehard like Navy SEAL motherfuckers. You know, they got actual plans and stuff, and just lit us up, bro.
For playing laser tag?
No, paintball.
Paintball, yeah.
Dudes get into that, man.
So
That's
into
a big thing for like ex-military people.
Yeah,
and shit.
of course,
just going out there and laying
it's
waste.
super crazy.
Some Delta Force shit going down, dude.
Yeah, they get really fucking into it. It's pretty fucking adrenaline.
It's a blast, man. It's a blast. Yeah. We got to do more fun shit. We got to step our fun game up here.
Let's not do this anymore.
We got to do things.
Let's sit around and talk about it. No, but fucking, that fucking whole, like, it was like mini golf, but like, I think they might even do this now, and it was our idea.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was like glow in the dark and mini golf, like cosmic bowling, but it was like cosmic mini golf.
Absolutely, I'm sure a thing now.
I think there's one not even that far from here. I think they do that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
But this is like we were like, I don't know, 18.
It was $1 billion idea.
Yeah, seriously. We're like, man, if we only had the fucking money.
And then we got high instead.
So we got this fucking plot of land that was my dad's up north where we used to go shooting for real.
Yeah.
And so like that, we were joking about that too. Like, oh, well, I was like, I got a piece of land. It's like 20 acres. We could set up a fucking whole laser tag park out there, dude. Adult laser tag.
It'd be a blast,
serve booze and
alcohol
shit.
sales.
And we were joking about you have to be on drugs. You know, like, no, we'll give you drugs. Like, you know.
You're patting people down, and if they come up after you, it's like, sorry, you gotta go, bro.
Exactly. And then I was also joking, like, all right, so I'm gonna call my brother right now and be like, listen, we can't sell this piece of land. I got a great business idea. And like, I was like, all right, we're gonna call him and pitch it to him right now.
You guys are idiots. We're clearly selling the land. You're morons.
You're clearly high.
Please stop calling me. I've got children. It's very late. Please go to bed. Goodbye.
Like, it's gonna be huge. You know what's funny, man, is my fucking I have access to like an entire fucking paintball like rig, like team's rig.
I remember you saying that shit.
My fucking boss bought out a guy up there, not far from what I'm talking about, who was doing exactly that. He was running a paintball fucking spot up there.
One of many failed paintball operations.
Bullshit ass paintball.
Much like ours would have been had we tried to go
run by some fucking rednecks up there, you know, like paintball, oh, it's a bunch of plywood and fucking barrels and shit.
It's got to be done. We got to take a weekend, go do some paintball, and report back on the pod with hilarious consequences.
He does it up there on his property all the time, but it's more like it's you know, just kind of on there. It's not like yeah. But apparently it gets pretty fucking intense. You know?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, dude. It taps
people
into
get like
shit,
pissed at each other and shit and stuff. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that, dude.
Oh, gotta have it. You get that competition going.
Yeah,
sitting out there, Tom Berenger sniper style, dude, just doing the work. Fucking laying a waste.
I'm hunkering down, dude.
Hunkering down, 45.
I guess with laser tag shit now, they got shit with like proximity mines and like grenades and shit. You
all
know?
That stuff.
Yeah, dude.
That's part of the problem with paintball, man, is it's so expensive because they got all that shit. They got those paint, like it's legitimate warfare, man. They got fucking grenades you lob out and just blow that shit up. It's, oh, man. Gotta be done, brother. Gotta be done.
Yeah, I guess I would. If we had a crew that was going, but like I don't want to go play it like with people I work with and shit.
No,
like,
fuck that.
No,
let's get 10 stoner friends to go out there and shoot the hell out of shit.
But I could get. I mean, we're talking like he's got like 60 sets. The gun and the helmet and the he just like bought this whole fucking place out.
Doing that shit Nick Cage, Jared Leto style from whatever the hell that movie was back in the day. Ever see that
Lord
shit,
of War.
Lord of War, dude.
So I could get a whole fucking thing, or we could just do it up there too.
Should be done, man.
Yeah, we could.
Or we could just get a Wii for $50 and hang here and do that.
Indeed, play Wii bowling.
It's like far less. We'll play Wii paintball, bro.
Is there Wii paintball?
Probably.
No, there's not. There is not, dude.
Next $1 million idea, boom.
Right?
Fucking a Wii paintball.
That's actually kind of crazy that there's not. But would you even make a game that's paintball, or would it be just a war game?
No.
It would just be real guns.
Bitches, yeah. I'm filling motherfuckers full of lead. I'm not fucking around with paintballs.
Yeah. You're playing GoldenEye, dude. Yeah. You want actual bullets, dude. Yeah.
Doing a work, son.
Indeed.
Hashtag no odd job.
I'm so fucking out of the loop, dude.
Yeah, been a busy week for you there. Well, especially
2
being
weeks.
out of power and
2 weeks.
stuff.
No
It's
power.
be so difficult.
Couldn't even get on my computer for multiple hours.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Several
Can't even
hours.
Imagine, brother.
I know it was. Yeah, I truly looked like Tom Hanks from Castaway after 24 hours. But yeah, I'm really out of the loop on what's happening in the world right now.
Maybe we can do a little something to get you and the people
yes,
up to
please,
speed.
Please.
The Dangerville podcast presents News of the World.
As a byproduct of this 2-man episode and setup, I'm realizing they got full fucking control of the soundboard over here.
So take that fucker
banger
over.
sound bites the entire time, dude. So with 2 weeks off, you would think it's nothing but banger material, right? Ample opportunity to really finally craft, really hone some well-made jokes here, really nuance that language, really finesse things.
You would think.
Find the deepest of the deep stories here. So
But I get the feeling that's not the case.
this will almost assuredly be the most hilarious news segment we've ever done.
Well, I have not done any in like 2 months.
Just getting lazier and lazier each week. I'm like, I'm getting up. Something about Brendan Fraser at the end. All right. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
First up on the docket, we've got India becomes 4th country to land on the moon.
Oh,
Did you hear about this?
I did hear that. Yep.
Yeah. So India has become the 4th country to land on the surface of the moon after a successful mission by the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft that touched down close to the South Pole region. Yeah, very exciting news for the country of India.
Shout out to India.
The successful landing has inspired India continues exploring places previously unvisited by its population, such as the depths of the Mariana Trench, Mars, and the shower.
I kind of knew where that was going there, but
one for one. All right. Next up here, we've got Governor Gretchen Whitmer signs legislation that prevents child marriage. Yes.
Gretch, this is Michigan, honey. What are you doing?
This is wild. Michigan had like a 16-year-old law for many years, I'm pretty sure. It's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
But Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed legislation that prevents child marriage.
Okay, yeah.
The bill raises...
She's a crazy one.
The bill raises the minimum age to marry in Michigan to 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Upon reading the story, R. Kelly commented, "No skin off my back. I'm not looking for anything long-term right now anyway." Pretty shit-faced, really stumbling over all these jokes.
Sure.
Here. That's an unfortunate turn. Got to pull it together here. Pull it together.
Big Gretch.
You're a professional, goddammit. Get your shit in order. All right. So Kid Rock was spotted drinking a Bud Light months after calling for a boycott. Dude.
Yeah.
Kid Rock, my boy Kid Rock.
Indeed. Detroit's own, baby.
Indeed. So TMZ obtained a photo and video that appears to show Kid Rock holding a can of Bud Light while at a Colt Ford show at Skydeck in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah.
Nice.
This is the most surprising and off-brand consumption of a food or beverage by a celebrity since a Lizzo backup dancer was seen eating her first piece of fruit in Amsterdam several weeks ago.
That's gold, Jerry. Gold!
Hilarious material, and the board says nothing else. It's really nice having control over this thing. If you're really looking to set it moving forward. Huge fan. Master of Puppies. A dog ran away from home, watched a Metallica show, and stayed for the entire thing.
Nice.
Did you see this
No,
one?
but that's the great. That needs to be a whole movie.
This is epic. Yeah, step aside Homeward Bound. Step aside Air Bud. Master of Puppies is the new dominant dog-related movie on the block.
With several cameos by Lars Ulrich.
So a pooch named Storm snuck out and somehow made her way to Metallica's record-breaking show at Los Angeles' SoFi Stadium all by herself and stayed for the entire show before being reunited with her family the next day.
Yes!
Yeah. When asked for comment, Storm noted, "The show was pretty sweet overall, but I maintain Lars is overrated." Not very good. All right, moving right along. This might be the finest work I've ever done. Storm went on to say that it was a great set list of some of her all-time favorite songs, including No Leaf Rover, Some Kind of Boxer, and The Shortest Paw. The Shortest Paw, Ross.
Wow.
You are correct, sir. Yes.
So stupid. The real record effort in that one is that's astounding.
The shortest ball has been told for you. Shortest ball.
Shortest pause of bang. All right, moving right along here. A woman says she fractured her ankle when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto, and now she's suing. Yeah.
Yes.
So a woman who fractured her ankle during a trip with her husband to the Italian food emporium Italy in Boston last year is now blaming her injury on a piece of ham after a slip and fall accident resulted from a piece of prosciutto that was carelessly left on the floor.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
When asked to comment, her husband stated, "My hat's off to the restaurant. It's been at least 10 years since I've been able to get her to drop to her knees for my meat."
Pretty good.
That's solid material.
And those
That's
bangers
solid
are
material.
sweet. Consistent bangers. And
Nothing like a good prosciutto joke.
last but not least here, Alaskan paddleboarder escapes a close encounter with a humpback whale, my friend.
I saw that. I know.
An Alaskan man on a paddleboard escaped a close encounter with a humpback whale, not even getting wet during a tense few seconds caught on camera by family and friends as the giant creature surfaced right in front of him, then glided under his board. The shocking footage showed the enormous whale rising up out of the water mere inches from the man, saying, "My bad," with Brendan Fraser then thankfully resubmerging himself without incident. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is yours. It's not even a
Dangerville
joke.
Podcast presents News of the World.
Brendan Fraser just said, "My bad." That's it.
You know, there's not a lot of meat left on that bone after 48 consistent weeks, my friend. You know, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
I did see that story, and I was like, oh, I'm not even. I know that's gonna just be there. I'm not even looking at it. Well, fucking pouring out for your boy though, Mr. Bob Barker. Pouring out for Bob Barker.
Oh, B-Bark, yep.
Yeah,
I saw it was
yeah.
last week or so, maybe. I
Just a few days ago, about a week ago, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yep, pouring out. He made it to 99.
That's a good, solid run.
Everybody was like,
solid run.
Did you see all the memes though? It was like he was as close as you could get to $1 before going over.
Yes!
That's gold, Jerry.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking funny, man. Material writes the stuff. That would have been something good for me to chalk down on the news story.
I can't claim I came up with that or nothing. It was all over the meme verse.
In fairness, that would have cut out a crucial Brendan Fraser paddleboarding joke, so it wasn't really an option. But goddamn, 99. That's a good run, dude.
It really is. Bob Barker.
And shout out to that hilarious bastard for coming up with that. It's really
It's so
funny.
obvious. To be honest with you, I thought he was already dead. I really did. I was like, I thought Bob Barker died like 4 years ago.
No way, dude. B-Bart can't be stopped.
Mandela effect.
Right. Oh, yeah. I said it many times that Drew Carey, dude. I don't even watch Prices Right, but it's always out of the pizza place that I go to for lunch. It's just like Drew Carey's fat ass all awkward up there. It's like, oh, yeah, it's... Give it a spin of the wheel. Drew Carey stinks.
See, I've never seen a single episode of The Price is Right with Drew Carey.
Well, it's just
not
bad.
a single one.
Just bad.
I'm a Bob Barker man, dude. If it ain't B. Barker, dude.
They've got all these male showcase guys now.
Oh, no.
This Australian dude in a Speedo going up there. It's a whole thing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good God. Yeah, that's terrible.
Really harkens back to the good old days of pure misogyny. Talking about getting your pet spayed and neutered. You gotta have that B Barker.
Yeah. Does Drew Carey still tell people to get their pets spayed and neutered?
I don't know. I've never seen the end of an episode. I get a 30-second clip when I get my couple of slices at lunch 3 times a week. That's about it. Shout out Franco, some of the finest pizza in the greater Portage area.
Nice. Pizza sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty roasted right
That'll happen.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it yet. Did you see they got a new season of Futurama out on
No,
Hulu,
it's on Hulu. I actually don't have Hulu. It's on Hulu, but yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well, there was like a couple years ago. It doesn't surprise me. You remember there was a big pissing match about they were trying to the dude who does Bender wouldn't come back. There was a big contract dispute. And
well,
shit.
they brought it back. I think also on Hulu, like 5.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of new
issues,
seasons. They kind of just like keep making it, which is awesome. They're kind of like, oh, we got new material.
That's awesome, but it really went the way of the Simpsons movie.
If it's not good, see, that's the thing. I haven't seen it, so I can't say if it's funny. But like,
I watched a few episodes when they brought it back the last time around, and it was a whole lot of like environmental, political type jokes, like very much in the vein of what they did with the Simpsons movie, or it was all about blah blah blah, and it was kind of like it stinks. But
yeah, I don't need a fucking message in my Futurama. Occasionally, they had some fucking really heartfelt episodes and shit, but like mostly it was just hilarious.
The last thing I want from a fucking cartoon is a life lesson.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to watch a cartoon right now about a robot who drinks.
You been catching any dominant new shit lately? That's
the thing is I kind of fucking haven't, man. I've been like so super busy trying to make shit of my own, and then I also I got on a Lord of the Rings kick, which I've probably been talking about for fucking like 4 months because that's how long it takes to go through Lord of the Rings. I went through all those movies. And then we threw down and went through all the extended versions of The Hobbit, which I had only seen those that one time, like in the theaters, like the only time I saw those. And I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan and didn't love The Hobbit. Dude. And I still don't. It's. I'll say this. The extended editions I thought were better because some stuff kind of made more sense and shit. But there was a lot that just didn't need to happen. And but that said, they were still pretty fucking awesome in a lot of ways. I'm like, these are really well made, and there are there's a lot of comedy in them that's kind of like not there in the Lord of the Rings because that's a lot more serious. But it's like The Hobbit is kind of like funny. But at first I was like, I hate this, but then watching it again, I'm like, all right, they're making funny. It's gags in a movie. They're trying to entertain you. Like it is funny. So, and then I haven't been listening to podcasts because I've been on fucking audiobooks again, like actual novels and shit. So I've been fucking diving even this endless Eric Von Daniken just talking to me about aliens, dude. and every book's reader is worse than the last. It's like they can't find the right reader to do it. Every one, I'm like, oh, this reader sucks.
Everybody's tapping out on Von Daniken, dude.
I'm like, why don't you just get Von Daniken to just scream at me in German? You know, like, and then there's this new. Have you heard of the series Red Rising? You ever catch any of that?
No, I don't think so.
It's a new sci-fi series. They're on like the 6th book, maybe 15 years deep or something like that now, and it's like the 3rd book of the 2nd trilogy, so it's kind of like the climax of the 2nd trilogy,
right.
And that just dropped like 2 weeks ago maybe or something, and it's like a Game of Thrones style, like 56-hour epic.
Okay.
So I've been fucking just balls deep into that right now.
What's the status on that new Game of Thrones shit? When's that supposed to be?
No status, man. Nobody knows. It's just fucking like we don't think it's ever gonna happen. And like me and Mike from Long After Midnight were just fucking going back and forth about this because we're the fucking Onion's making fucking jokes about it and shit. It was fucking Stephen King bangs out The Winds of Winter on a Tuesday afternoon. So we're laughing our asses off about that, and then we're talking about it and I'm like, I kind of don't blame the guy. I could kind of see why. It's just like, the story's been told.
Yeah,
I already
indeed.
told, the story's been told. Like, I don't really I'm not that interested in telling it. It's already been
It's
told.
way better the first time when it's called Game of Thrones and everybody loved it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I still got to get on that House of the Dragon, man. I watched like the first 2 episodes and I was just kind of disappointed.
I liked it, but that's the thing, dude. Watch the first couple episodes of Game of Thrones. It starts somewhere, it's like.
Yeah, I know. Just as I said many times, it just seems like a lesser version of that similar thing. It's just a less choice version.
I don't know.
Game of Thrones. Kind of.
I get that.
In fairness, I got to keep going.
But because that was 7 seasons deep, you know what I mean? So but you watch the first episode of Game. They were even showing they were like, wow, he really ran out of money. It was like the fucking the tourneys in fucking the original Game of Thrones are like 4 sets of bleachers, and like the tourneys in the new one are like epic Coliseum. See,
I beg to differ, man. That first episode of Game of Thrones, and I'm pretty sure I beat this up ad nauseum, so apologies for our tens of listeners all over the world, but. It was amazing. It was so visually striking, and it was so well done, and like right off the bat, it was so gripping. And this one's kind of like, the king guy was pretty dopey and fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of what he is. Though.
So one new show and one old show I've been going through. I started going through The Americans, which I had always heard great things about. It was an FX show, like 2013.
It's about a Russian family of spies.
Exactly.
Or something, right? Yeah.
CIA shit, but like the Russian KGB people, they're just living as Americans. It's Matthew Rise and
I don't know who that is.
He's the dude that he's the new Perry Mason. In the reboot.
Okay, which I also
Perry
never
Mason.
saw, but I know what that is. I heard that was
watched
great.
the first couple and it was choice, and then I kind of
choice.
fell off for no apparent reason, but I got to go back in, and then Carrie Russell, who is his wife in real life. But that show is fucking dominated. Super choice. And then Winning Time, the Lakers dynasty. So it's about like the fucking old school, like original
I did want to catch that.
run and gun Showtime Lakers. Fucking Magic Johnson and shit, dude. It's got John C. Reilly, who I know you're not a big fan of, but also Matthew Rise now that I think about it, with or from The Americans and a bunch of dudes. Pretty all-star cast, pretty glorious. It's good shit, dude.
Yeah, it's about how Magic Johnson got AIDS.
Magic Johnson had a real nice fucking Wilt Chamberlain-esque run. You, that dude pulled an awful lot of ass. Not a broom thing.
Well, I know fucking. Did you hear Michael Jordan just came out and said he was the greatest of all time or something? Did you see that shit?
Magic Johnson?
Mm-hmm. Or something. He said, again, not a sports guy. He said he's the best. Whatever was he, a point guard or something?
Guard.
He's the best point guard of all time.
Okay.
So he made Michael came out and made some fucking statement about it.
You can make that argument.
Yeah.
That's the fucking funny out of him, because that is the most diehard motherfucker competitive wise you've ever heard.
Yeah.
His Hall of Fame speech, everybody gets up there and they're so gracious and like, oh, I want to thank this guy, thank that guy. He gets up there, he's just like,
choice.
Fuck this guy for not thinking I was going to be choice.
Yeah.
Fuck you. This other guy who they said that was good was nothing compared to me and just laid waste to everybody. Just left a rubble of dust in his tracks. So he's never giving credit to anybody. That's just his thing. Like on the golf course, he's the same way, man. He's like a degenerate golfing addict, gambler, dude.
Do you think that fucking like hurts his legacy, him being a prick?
Fuck no, dude.
He's still that good.
Literally that good.
Yeah.
When you're talking greatest athletes of all time, it's probably a 3-person conversation, and it starts with Michael Jordan. The underrated one, who I think you can probably make an even stronger argument for, but I don't know dick about hockey, is Wayne Gretzky. Dude.
That's funny because I thought you were not going to say that, and I was going to be like, dude, it's Wayne Gretzky.
When you look at his numbers, dude, he is so
There's a bunch of memes going around about him
everybody
right now.
else, man.
They're like, even if he didn't have, it's like, even if he didn't have this record, he would still have, like 4 times more total points than every other player.
Goals, points,
it was
assists,
like, I think it was said, like, if you took away his goals, which is the main thing, you know, it would be, he still said all his points are still like 4 times more than everybody else's.
It's absurd, dude. He is so far above everybody else. And Michael Jordan was that great, and like the younger generation, you know, kind of leans LeBron, which there's an argument there. He's probably a better passer, you know, all around skill.
Also a nicer guy.
A lot nicer guy. But I don't know. Michael Jordan just did nothing but fucking win.
It's Jordan.
You've got Tiger Woods, who's in the conversation. Tiger Woods.
You know, here's my argument, and I don't know everything about it, but like I feel like, but like it was only the last 10 years or whatever. He hasn't really done shit, so like it's kind of fallen off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, but when I know that was all post Elin Nordegren or whatever his wife's name was. When he got into that accident, he had some like severe injuries.
That's all part of it, though, dude. It's like
longevity is a big component of it. And I think Nicholas still has him by 1 in the major category, if I'm not mistaken. Counterpoint there is it's a lot tougher competition when he was in there versus Nicholas. But I don't know, man. The dominance that guy had and the win percentage is fucking. And that sport, for anybody who plays golf, man, that's a whole nother level, bro. Like, everybody has an off week in golf. You see pros shit the bed, hitting the ball in the water. That motherfucking... he was a Terminator. Tiger Woods, man.
Yeah.
An unrelenting, dominant machine.
It's a true story. Yeah.
So how are things? How are you doing?
I'm fucking ripped right now.
I pretty much blow my wad out material here. I got a whole lot of nothing here, bro.
I was kind of actually just enjoying watching you struggle a little bit.
By struggle, you mean keeping the conversation flowing in an absolutely dominant manner.
Sitting here staring at you, just
furiously scrolling the 20-year-old Mac. Showtime with the Lakers. It's a pretty good show on HBO. Yeah. It's got John C. Reilly, who's been in movies. I got nothing. This is the problem with leading an uninspiring and boring life. So I don't have a goddamn thing to talk about. Right now, somewhere Rogan's listening, quaking in his boots. Oh man, these guys are coming up on my heels fast. Dude.
Are you caught up on Rogan at all?
I'm 1 episode behind, but mostly caught up. Dude, he had the Hulkster.
I know. I haven't caught it. No, the last one I caught was Post Malone, dude, and that was a while ago.
I don't. Can you name a Post Malone song?
No, I've heard like 2.
Song.
I mean, he's one of the biggest artists in the world,
and he has been forever. Dude.
For a while.
I was thinking about it. And like 10 years ago, I worked at this place, and this chick I worked with was like, "Oh, my kids are obsessed with Post Malone."
Yeah.
But he seemed like such a douchebag with the multiple face tattoos.
He's
a
really
choice
cool
guy. Yeah, like he was on there and he was talking about. He said he threw down like 10 million or $1 million or some shit on a Magic the Gathering card. You hear me going off about? Yeah. Post Malone kind of rules. I never played Magic the Gathering, but
I've always liked Post Malone more than I've caught his music. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this guy's hilarious.
It was
an
instant rush to judgment. You know, I'm just like, this guy, I'm probably all set on him. Assumed he was some kind of turd sandwich.
No, he's actually really good at guitar and shit too. He does like he did that thing where he did all those Nirvana songs and shit. Like he was like a rock guy who started like doing like tighty whitey shit.
Okay. See, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah,
like it was literally just like look at him and like, oh, this guy probably stinks.
He just does all this auto tune, and he's even talking about it on Rogan. He's like, yeah, thanks auto tune.
Yeah.
You know, like,
he's a badass guy. Like he doesn't take himself too seriously. It's pretty fucking choice.
Yeah.
I was always more of an Overpower guy than a Magic the Gathering guy. You ever fuck with some Overpower back in the day?
I've never played either of those.
Yeah, dude.
You played Magic the Gathering?
No, never played Magic, but Overpower was the Marvel equivalent. I know, like, raising the hand for being a douchebag myself if I fucking ripped on Marvel, but it was all like X-Men and fucking Marvel characters. But the exact same as Magic the Gathering. And it was shit.
No, it was.
I was in a fucking Overpower after school card league in like sixth grade of middle school.
Oh, well, what was that fucking spot in Kalamazoo that we used to go to? There was a huge ass comic book store. Yeah, something like
Fanfare.
that. And they used to lay out all the tables in there and
dude,
shit.
They had big
that was a dope comic book store though. It was huge.
It's badass.
Yeah, is it still there? I hope so.
I think they moved to a new and bigger choicer location.
That's awesome.
I was down that way the other day.
Because it wasn't small. That was a legit spot.
No, it was big, dude, but I think they moved it somewhere else. I want to go check that out for sure. That store was fucking choice.
It was cool,
dude. And they had a pretty dominant selection of like old school NES games and shit. It was everything, dude. They had choice like trading cards, like sports cards and shit, which I was into when I was little. Yeah. Speaking of things, I just
found all my cards, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I got shoe boxes of shit. I'm pretty sure I talked about this before, but I was an industrious young fuck back in the day. Like among other things, I would sell crybabies and shit. I used to have my mom go and pick up crybabies and sour warheads and stuff and sell those things on the bus and make bank. But when Magic Johnson announced the AIDS thing, I was like 10 or some shit. I'm like, I'm scoring every Magic Johnson card I could find, loading up on those things, assuming he was going to kick the bucket in like 2 years.
He's still alive.
It turns out stacks of cash tends to be the cure for AIDS. So cards are borderline.
I got a bunch of that. I was going to take them over to Pro Stop over there, dude, and be like, what do you guys give me for all this? There's a bunch of unopened packets and shit, too.
Oh, yeah.
I might have some kind of fucking money card in there, dude. I got to look that shit up.
Dude, you can probably sell those things for a nice little profit, man. Unopened old school shit like that.
Yeah. They're like Skybox and shit, dude.
Speaking of things that probably aren't of value, this is one of my favorite stories I've ever read, dude. So I saw this many, many months back, never brought it up. So I saw this story. This guy is living in a house with his wife, right? And he finds bags full of pennies. And it's like $10,000 worth of pennies, dude. Like an absurd amount of pennies. And he's trying to sell them for like 25 grand. His whole thing's like, yeah, there might be some valuable stuff there. You should probably give me much more than $10,000 for
Damn.
This guy rules.
Did he get it? And did somebody pay up or not?
I didn't follow up. It seemed like a lot of work to re-Google that story.
I also found my fucking Superman comics. I had all these fucking the Death of Superman series. When Superman died and all that, dude. I found it was like 25 comics there. Something like I'm like, yeah, these are in pretty choice shape. I wonder if these are fucking. I'm sure there was a billion of them printed at the time.
Scoring those from Dimax back in the day.
I think it was.
Dimax,
dude, yeah, I want to take them all back. That's what I'm saying. I want to take all that shit back over to Pro Stop or whatever and fucking be like,
bro, the next guest we need on here, how have we not thought of this before?
Dimax guy.
The Dimax guy. We gotta figure out the Dimax guy. Where are you at, Dimax guy?
We're gonna need to get fucking
that's gotta be done.
A private eye on figuring out who the fuck was the guy who ran Dimax and getting him on this podcast immediately.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Dimax guy here today. That guy was the fucking man.
Dude, he's the guy who gave us that bootleg of Beavis and Butthead or whatever.
Throwing it back to that pilot episode material. That's a story worth retelling. That's
the greatest thing that's ever happened.
All right. So since nobody listened to that episode, we got to bring that shit back. This must have been 8th grade, I'm pretty sure, right? Somewhere thereabouts.
7th or 8th, yeah, somewhere.
And Dimax is like the most glorious little shithole comic book store. It changed hands many times. It was like a video store for a bit. It was a trading card store for a bit. It was a comic book store for a bit. This guy just flailed miserably. So we go in there and we're always fucking running these old school VHS episodes of Beavis and Butthead.
That's
just
right.
episodes, just MTV.
Yeah, like the show.
And he knew us from that.
Yeah.
We're always
yeah.
running back that Beavis and Butthead voice all the time. So we go in there one day, and this guy's pure comic book store guy.
He is literally the comic book
from
store.
The Simpsons.
The only difference is he had dark hair, but he had like the ponytail, like in everything.
No bullshit. He was hanging out from like an ill-fitting, grease-stained T-shirt. He was the comic book store guy, super sassy, just going, "This is a rare picture of Mary Worth." Yeah. So we go in there. He hands us, if you remember, which I'm sure you do, this like nondescript fucking VHS cassette
unlabeled
tape.
Bootleg
Unlabeled
VHS.
Like, gentlemen, I think you're going to enjoy this DVD or this VHS very much. Didn't like say a fucking word about it because we rented like 4 episodes of Beavis and Butthead.
And he was like, it was like a wink fucking thing, dude.
So we roll out of there, go through the fucking Beavis and Butthead VHS at my mom's crib. Throw this thing in, having no idea what it is. It pops up, and this is before the movie came out, and we hear the Beavis and Butthead theme song, and then the glorious, glorious fucking banner of Beavis and Butthead Do America, unreleased bootleg fucking Do America VHS. Oh man, what a thrilling day that was, my friend. God damn it.
And I've seen the movie like 100 times
so
already.
Amazing.
It's so just.
It was back in the day when there was like an 8-month lag time between when it was out in theaters and then when it came out on
VHS and shit.
Oh man, goddamn.
I wonder how he got that. Dude, we have to find him, dude.
It's got to be done.
Dimax guy, if you're
Can
out
you
there.
imagine talking with Dimax guy in here?
They're laying that story down.
The stories that guy would have to tell, man.
All right, we'll fucking find the Dimax guy. We'll fucking get Bob Aqueduct on the show immediately.
Top right.
And I also want to find my old guitar teacher who taught at Birds, who was like basically also the comic book store guy. He like had a ponytail and played jazz guitar. He's like, ooh, teaching 6th grade Ross to play Nirvana songs, you know.
Fucking flaming red hair, dickhead haircut. That's hilarious.
He was always like, yes, I'm learning autumn leaves. So I'd like go in and he'd be like playing all these jazz chords and shit. I'd be like, all right, man, you can teach me how to play Hendrix. He's like, yes, I can.
He's muffing his way through BB King's stick. You're not any good.
This guy laid waste, dude. He's like, this song is called Voodoo Child. I'm in there going, wah, 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 wah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I gotta find that motherfucker, dude. I know his first name. I'm gonna track him down, dude.
That should be helpful.
Motherfucker's name was Stewart.
I mean, how many Brandons can there be out there?
No, dude, his name was Stewart. His name was Stewart. I gotta find this cat, dude.
Oh my God.
All right, man.
No, we don't. Yeah, I taught you a couple songs. I got nothing.
And a little practice.
A podcast worse than this one is like, yeah, man, I taught music for a minute. I sold insurance shortly thereafter. Like, all right, man, good talk. It was awesome catching up with you, bro. Hey, we got a couple things. Hey, Stu, we got a couple things. So, Killer Whale. A spot of orcas, a spot in the Atlantic. Hey, Stu, did you hear about this? Oh, it stinks in the water. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God, dude. Stu.
So you guys are doing this? You realize that movie came out a really, really long time ago, right? Hey, Stu, you hear the one about R. Kelly and his affinity for children?
Gotta track that guy down immediately, dude.
Shout out, Stu.
Shout
out, Big Stu.
Shout out,
Disco
man.
Stu.
Wherever you are. Wherever you are, man. All right. We gotta wrap this up.
The end.